can't now.
Yeah, we can.
No, we can't. I got all my stuff over here.
It won't take us a second. Slide it on. I don't want to hit your hand.
I told you that before we started. Okay, y'all, we're moving.
Like the Jeffersons.
I tried to get him to do this before we started,
I was trying to get everything.
and I think he wasn't realizing what I was saying. Now that ain't gonna work. Okay. No, I can't get my coffee off the floor with my left hand. Y'all just bear with us.
Where do you want your coffee?
Up here, or in my hand. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. It's been a morning already, and we hadn't even got going good. We are in the bedroom. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It's a little rainy outside, and you can't hear us upstairs. So here we are in the bedroom with the birds singing. Bet y'all can hear them.
That's good.
Yeah, the birds are singing. You might even catch a glimpse of one.
I had this closed, but I thought that don't look good. So you better be open to see the roses.
Can y'all hear us? I'm trying not to talk real loud because, well, Mary Carl is sleeping, and we wanted to let her sleep because it's Saturday. So hopefully everybody can hear us. This May the 10th at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday here from Alabama. How's everybody doing?
How's everybody doing?
Said sounds good. Gorgeous backdrop. Well, this is what we need to do every time.
Not if you whisper like this.
Well, she doesn't sleep at 4 o'clock. All right. So hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And we got a lot of rain coming. You know, I thought it was going to be gone tomorrow, Jason. And I looked at I looked at the forecast, and it's here till Monday.
Is it really?
Y'all don't know what he's doing. Just don't worry about him.
That's my coffee down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got mine in my hand.
I was gonna look at the radar.
Oh, well, it's raining. And it's potential for some harder rain. And we didn't want to get started upstairs and you not be able to hear us because you can see what's around us and what's coming. I sure thought it was going to be gone tomorrow. And Jason was not prepared for his Monday video ahead of time, which we never are. We always a day ahead. But with it going to rain tomorrow, it's going to make things difficult. So y'all just know it's coming, but it might not be pretty. It might not be pretty. Are you going to talk?
I'm going to let you have it that day.
I just, I get in trouble when I talk too much, but then when I sit here by myself and nobody says anything, then what am I supposed to do?
You know what we ain't talked about?
What?
We ain't talked about how we went to this birding event.
Yeah, I got it wrote down on my notebook because it's been a long time ago, 7 days ago.
We missed a live because of your surgery.
Y'all.
That's what had me thrown off this morning.
Well, I said that he was going to prop me up and it was going to be weekend at Brookie's and all that funny stuff, which I thought I was going to be fine after that live. After that surgery, I couldn't do the live. I was having a little nausea and I couldn't do the live.
You were sleeping? I
was sleeping and I have had 4 surgeries and I have not had any sleepiness nor nausea after any of them, except for when I had Mary Carl, but that was different.
Yeah.
That was only right after I had her too. This was different. This was nausea the next day, but at least the surgery was not bad. It was just the anesthesia.
And the surgery was quick.
I thought it took 2 hours, y'all. I told Jason, I said, it took about 2 hours, and I didn't tell him this till yesterday. And he said, no. He went back and looked at his text to Catherine, and he said, no. I texted her at 11:19 and told her they're fixing to wheel her back. And at like 11:40, she's done.
Yeah, it was about 40 minutes, sure enough. Now, I don't know how long the surgery took. That's them taking you back there.
It probably took about 4 minutes. That's what I'm expecting. Took about 4 minutes.
I don't know. It was it was quick though. It's a
Well,
lot faster than what I
it
anticipated.
felt like a long time to me.
Because they told you 4 hours.
Well, they told me to anticipate 4 hours at the surgery center.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was 4 hours at the surgery center.
Was it 4 hours?
Yes. Yes, I had to be there at 9:15. I know it was after 1 when we were going home.
Okay. It
'Cause
was.
yeah, it was. And Jason had to drive me home, y'all, and I was so scared I was gonna snore and because they make fun of me about my snoring. I was,
But me.
I know, but I was out of it, you
Yeah,
know.
was that it?
And my mind was telling me, "Don't you fall asleep because you're gonna snore," and he's gonna laugh. And so I was trying not to snore. And
Oh my goodness.
I just remember I leaned that seat back, and the next day I went and picked Zoe up because Zoe and I went to a women's impact meeting. Picked her up in my car,
Yeah.
and the seat was still back in the passenger seat. Zoe got in and she just leaned back with it. And I said, "Hey, lean that seat up if you want to." She's, "No, it's all right." She just rode all lean back. But I'm talking about it was laid back. It was laid
Oh
back.
goodness.
And he got me home, but I was willing to drive, but I was told I couldn't.
Got you on. One time I got you good. It wasn't intentional though. The car in front of me slammed on brakes. And I had to slam on brakes. And
I sat straight up, didn't I?
You come unglued.
I sat straight up.
I said, "What am I supposed to do?" The car in front of me slammed on brakes.
Did I say anything?
You said, "What'd you do?"
Well, I don't know if I dreamed this or not.
Oh goodness.
But I remember, or either I've made this up, one of the two, and I told you, and you didn't know either. I remember the anesthesiologist saying, "If you hadn't been tested for sleep apnea, don't bother because you got it."
That's what you said they told you when they woke up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wasn't in there, so I don't know.
And I don't know if I made that up or if it was for real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have his number. He he didn't give that to me. He knew I had a husband in the waiting room. Oh, goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
But anyway, all is well with the surgery, and I am not wearing anything this morning on my hand. I went to physical therapy. Y'all look, I can bend my fingers. My hardest thing, I was doing my physical therapy this morning, and I figured out what my hardest thing to do is thus far. I mean, you know, it's pretty good to be able to do this with pins in your fingers. This is what I can't do. I'm supposed to hook. He can't handle it. Just close your eyes. I'm supposed to make a hook, and I cannot do it with any of them. I cannot do it, but I'm working on it. I'm working, and that sounds so silly. And I looked at it, and I did my other hand like my other hand was going to be hard to do. And it did it with ease, and I was like, "Why can't I do this?" And Miss Kathy, my physical therapist, said, "All of your finger joints are connected. And while I can do this with one finger, can't do it with my ring finger, you know, it's trauma to all of them. While there's only one finger that's broken, it involves all of them. So I'm going to keep working."
Gonna keep working. You want to show them your pen?
I told them at physical therapy, I said, "I'm trying to figure out what I can do, you know, here on this farm." And I said, "Well, can I like feed my calf?" And she said, "What do you mean feed your calf?" I said, "Well, can I put feed?" I'm acting like she knows what I'm talking about. "Can I put feed in the red bowl?"
Oh God.
And she said, and I said, "Yeah,
God.
Can I put it in the red bowl because the red bowl's big, and carry it with this hand and use this hand to balance with?" Yeah. And she said, "No, Brooke, you can't feed the calf. You can button your pants.
That's it.
And you can zip your pants with assistance with this left hand, and that is all you're supposed to do." I don't know. I gotta work the hand.
You gotta work the hand. Somebody said
hummingbird.
I saw one this morning.
I think it just.
Somebody said that they didn't see any stitches or anything.
No, I don't have any stitches.
I still have no idea, y'all, how they did it. I don't have a clue.
Well, she showed me these two little puncture wounds, and you can really, it's one right there and one right there.
thought it was further down than that.
Well, I don't know. She showed it to me, and
I
that's
think
where
it's
the
right
pin.
there.
No,
And right there.
no, my pins don't go through my joint. She said it looks like it does, but it does not.
Okay, it goes around your joint.
So this is what the pins look like in there. Oh, was I upside down?
Upside down.
And here's another one. She had these printed off for me when I went in there. And I told Mary Cross she could have them and hang them up, and she was thrilled.
Mm-hmm. Mom's pins.
But she took, when she took the bandage off, she had all this stuff lined up because we were fixing to clean my wound.
Yeah.
And she took it off and she said, well, you don't have stitches. I said, well, I didn't know if I did or not because I was told to not take the wrap off, to let the physical therapist take the wrap off. I did take, it had 2 compression wraps on it. I took one of them off the night before because it got tight. And she was surprised that I didn't have
There's
stitches.
no cut or anything. It's like they just slid them in. I don't know how they
said,
did it.
how are they going to get it out?
I don't know how they did it.
And she said, well, they'll make a little puncture wound and they'll get them out. And I was, okay. Yes, the pins will be removed. And anticipation is about 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. So she said the swelling would probably last about 4 months. And that I should not be prepared to have my hand be back to where I could, do this, which, I mean, I can't. It's just crazy to me that that's all I got for a year.
That's crazy.
I'm just glad it's my left hand. I can't figure out how it's my left hand. Why was I leading Willie with my left hand and not my right hand? I'm right-handed. I don't know. But I'm glad I was.
Me too. I'm glad you were too.
I'm glad I was. And y'all, I literally had the rope in my hand like this. And when he took off, I grabbed, that hurt. I grabbed the rope. I tried to grab this pin. She made me do the physical therapy. I'm supposed to try to attempt to grab this. That hurt. I don't know why it hurts right there.
I think because it's bending.
Well, she wants it to bend.
I'm talking about the pins. Because they go all the way. Because that's your...
I don't know. I can feel them poking.
Yeah.
And when he took off, that's the finger. I thought I could grab that rope tighter and hold on to him. Don't do it. Let him go. He's a horse. He's a strong fella. He's a strong fella.
Well, I can't figure out why it did that.
I don't know either.
Finger.
I don't know either. I can't figure it out. And thankful I had a silicone ring on that day.
Yeah.
And y'all know we've told y'all time and time again.
Yeah.
She said that I can order a ring for several months down the road, but I probably need to go a couple of sizes up. Do I think the Lubricant is helping? Not with my broken bone, I don't. It's helping with my joints. I haven't, I've been without my autoimmune medications this is last week. I didn't take anything. I take it on the weekend. I didn't take anything. To take my Imbral this weekend and skip another week of the methotrexate. But I am not hurting.
What if you just quit?
I don't know. That's what I want to know. Do I skip another week and give it a try? You think? You said,
I don't know.
I mean, I am not hurting. I am not hurting. I don't know what to do. I don't think it'd hurt if I skip another week. And the reason they wanted me to skip a week is because obviously biologics bring your immune system down.
Yeah.
And I got a foreign object in my hand. So we need my body to heal without compromise from a medication that makes it not heal. I don't know. I'll decide. I don't want, Robin said, no, don't skip it. It took a long time. What I forget is when I feel good, how bad it was to get to this point.
Get to the point. That's the thing I worry
I don't
about.
want to start over.
Yeah.
I do not want to stop. Take as prescribed. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah.
I don't want it to. Yeah. Because it takes so long for it to get to that point.
Yeah. I finally got something that works. And gosh, I don't want to start over.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, y'all answered that. My doctor said to take it this weekend. So no skipping. Okay.
No skipping.
I should have got it out of the refrigerator before we started this, but I didn't.
Carla had hip replacement surgery this week and no stitches.
Wow.
But they use glue.
Yeah.
They use glue. You didn't have any incision though.
No incision
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah. No incision, which is weird.
Well, I'm glad because she was going to show me how to clean it and how to rewrap it. And I was going to have to do that every day. Clean it and rewrap it. And she said, okay, you don't have any stitches. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to the sink and we're going to wash it. I said, wash it? She said, yeah, we're going to wash it. We're going to wash it just like you wash your hands. And so we go over to the sink and she gets me some antibacterial soap. And she said, okay, now I want you to wash your hands and I'm going to watch you. And I thought, watch me wash my hand. I'm starting over here. So I get my soap on my good hand and I wash it off real good. And she said, just make sure I dry it good. And I did. And I mean, to me, it looks great. It's a little bit swollen. I mean, it's a lot swollen. It's a lot swollen, but I'm so happy to be this far along. That, y'all, I can't figure that out. I cannot figure that line out.
I don't know.
It happened after the injury. When they put that brace.
I think that's what it is.
You think that thing they put at the ER?
Yeah, I think it'll
straighten out. See, when they put me in that splint at the ER,
Mm-hmm.
my hand was cupped like that. And I think that's what made that line, but I may be wrong. I don't know. Enough about the hand. The hand is going to heal and I'm happy.
That's right.
The hand is going to heal. You just got to be positive. If I was in pain, we'd be in trouble, but no.
So, well, I was talking about the event
Mm-hmm.
and then of course the hand conversation, but we went to it was a benefit. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it was a benefit
for the Alabama Wildlife Refuge.
It was for the birds, though. It was not for the
birds.
Wildlife.
Yes, but that's who put it on. But it was for the birds, and a lot of y'all saw us dolled up.
We weren't dolled up as some, but we were done up more than some. So
Well, originally it said formal, and we didn't even read any of this.
Not till the day before.
They reached out to us and said, "Hey, look, we're somebody here is a big fan, and we would like to know if y'all would like to donate something and come to the event where they're raising money to help basically injured birds." Is basically what it amounts to.
Yeah, because they have a drop-off location at Oak Mountain State Park where you go in this door and you literally drop the birds off and they take them from you, and they're there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They do this free of charge, and they got to raise money to be able to do this and pay people to do it.
So that's what the whole event was. But it looks like it originally said formal. And you told me you're going to have to rent a tux. And I said, where am I going to rent a tux the day of the thing? Except suits me. Men's wear, someplace I could think of. And I said, I'm not renting a tux. And then down below, it looks like they went back and added business casual.
Business casual.
And so we're like, okay, where's the business casual? I can do business casual. And you said, do you have any good pair of pants?
This used to not be a problem, y'all. He had to wear good pants to work every day. Even though he was in the service department, I went to the Goodwill and I just racked up on men's slacks that looked nice. And we never bought a new pair of pants because you could get them at the Goodwill.
I was about to say, my attire that I had on was all Goodwill except my shirt, and we got it on clearance for $19.
The same day I got my dress. It was a week before the event. We didn't know it was going to be used.
So my pants are all the way in the back. I keep one good pair, and I can't tell you the last time.
He's living on the edge.
I cannot tell you the last time I put them on. So I made sure they still fit. Because if not, we got to go buy some pants today.
And so Jason was editing my video because obviously we knew we were going to Birmingham and we weren't going to be back till late. And my video comes out on Sunday. So, I said that way you don't have to get up early and edit. So while he's editing, I had to get out the ironing board.
Well, I was about to say, it's a special event when we pull the ironing board out. I mean, this is a big deal.
Now, the ironing board stayed out a week afterwards, but we got the ironing board out.
The ironing board just don't come out.
It don't. It don't. It
hardly
used to
ever. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you the last time the ironing board came out.
the happiest thing to me about Jason quitting his job. Of course, we were delighted that he would be home every day, but my happy time
was not ironing clothes every
was
day.
not having to iron clothes every day. Not having to iron clothes, y'all. I'm telling y'all, when it just something you don't look forward to,
Yeah.
It just was my most hated job. I would much rather unload the dishwasher or wash clothes or do anything than iron. And I know there are people that love to iron.
I don't love to iron, but I don't mind.
I hate it.
I don't mind.
I hate it.
But yeah, my jacket was a Goodwill jacket.
Mm-hmm.
My pants were Goodwill pants.
Mm-hmm.
And my shirt was actually I don't even know the name brand of it, but it was one of those fancy name brand
It
shirts.
had like a little dog or a little wolf or something on it.
Whatever that was, that shirt was like almost $100.
And I think you paid $20 for it.
It was $19.99 on sale.
And my dress, y'all, was $24 on clearance. And I tried it on and I thought it looked like a sack when I tried it on. And so my problem was I had tennis shoes on and socks.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jason said, well, just get it, because I had 2 weeks to take it back. It was just me and him. We picked up Mary Carl something too, and I knew I was going to have to bring it back. So I said, well, I'll just bring it back when I bring Mary Carl stuff back. And I got it home, and lo and behold, when they said, business casual, I thought, well, I can break out that dress, because it was still hanging on the door right there where I hung it when I got it home, thankfully, because it wasn't ankled. And put it on, and Mary Carl, she had all these belts she was trying me with. And finally I said, look, Mary Carl, I don't feel comfortable seeing my waistline. It ain't something flattering, and we just gonna wear it like a sack. And that's what I did. I had some boots that I had
It was super cute,
stored away for a long time. Find that picture for people that didn't see it. Can you do that?
You were super cute.
Well, you were super cute too. One of my I posted the picture on my personal Facebook page, and I'm never active on my personal page, but I was just, it was just a happy day. It was just a happy moment. And Mary Carl did go with us, but with her not wanting to be in the public, I didn't post her picture. But I posted it on my personal Facebook page. You probably find it there easy. Yeah, that's the last one. And
that's my Goodwill style. And your dress was $19, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was $24.
$24.
Mine was $24. My mama hooked me up with a necklace and some earrings. And I still don't have my necklace that I wear every single day back on. This was one that I had to replace it with, because I got to have something on my neck. But anyway, a friend of mine from high school, he commented. And do y'all want to know what Chad commented?
Oh, God.
Chad said, Jason looks like a movie star.
A Goodwill movie star.
And I said, Chad, I think you have that backwards.
Oh, my God.
And he didn't respond. He just thought Jason looked like a movie star.
Oh, that's crazy. That was crazy.
And all my friends laughed at my comment that they had that backwards.
Well, I didn't feel too awkward, except the first couple we saw, he had a tux on. Like, well, country done come to town. That's all I can tell you,
Well, they had fried chicken for dinner, and it was good.
It was
Let's
really
just
good.
say that it was good.
It was good. It was really good.
But the event was, we didn't know what to expect. So it's like a oh goodness, what do you call it? What do you call that downstairs part?
The lobby?
It was like a reception before.
Well, first of all, it was I can't think of the building. City Club, Birmingham City Club. And it's this big fancy building. And it was on the 31st floor.
No, that guy in the tux didn't feel awkward, because there was lots of guys in the tux.
There was lots of guys in tuxes. But yeah, it was fancy.
What was the floor? 32nd?
31st.
31st floor.
It was fancy.
I don't do elevators either.
Yeah. So, and you had to go 31 floors up.
Yeah, but it went like this.
It was fast. It yeah. we got up there, and the I gotta show y'all the view though. It was beautiful. No, I still got my pictures.
So we get up there, and it's like a a little cocktail hour, I guess you would call it. Everybody was allotted so many drink tickets for just purchasing the tickets, and so we got our drink tickets, and they only gave me Carl one. I guess that was because she was just going to have one non-alcoholic drink, but
a mocktail.
A mocktail, and we each got drink tickets, and then they had some little finger foods and such. And
there was a picture, the sun setting out there,
31st floor.
On the 31st floor, and then you can go ahead. I'm just showing the pictures.
Well, I don't know what I was going to say. So then the hour ends where we go upstairs where the main event was. And there's tables, set up, and there's a buffet and all kinds of nice foods. And so they started serving the food. Well, meanwhile, they start bringing the birds around, and this is what we went for. I mean, we went to help the auction, obviously, but there was a silent auction that took place in the meantime. There were no auctions at the event. It was all a silent auction. So while we were back to the first floor, you could look at everything, including our gift basket that sold for $150.
I'm shocked.
I think it for $100. It had like 17 bids on it.
At one time, it had more bids than anything else there, but I don't know what it ended up being, which we were shocked. It was because there was some fancy stuff there.
Well, they sent me an email, and they said that the Cog Hill Farm basket got lots of attention, and they were so thankful for us donating it. Because, I mean, wow, $150 is not a whole lot. It's a lot for taking care of birds.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were just glad to be able to, help them. And we bidded on some things. We won some things. But before we get to that.
Well, my country self, because country doesn't come to town. And so I was getting tickled at how fancy everything was.
And we knew no one.
We didn't know anybody.
Not one person.
And so, of course, I'm texting Michael and Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're at a fancy place when they're walking around with, I called it a buzzard being funny, but a black vulture. And the girl's wearing a prom dress. I mean... Like, oh my gosh,
y'all! It was she the first one out?
No, it was the little kite.
Okay, no, that's not
Mm-hmm.
Is that a kite?
It's a Mississippi kite. And you see how she's dolled up and walking around with a bird there, and not only a bird, but a raptor,
a bird of prey. We're eating dinner, and they're walking around with these birds, and at the end of it, they're like, "Does anybody have any questions?" And the one lady said, "Do the birds want to eat our dinner?" And they said, "Well, probably if the chicken smelled bad, then they may, but no, they're not interested in your dinner." Y'all, look at this one. It was 9 birds that they brought out. They had said 10, but it was 9 birds.
Yeah.
And he is the Eurasian owl.
Is it? That was a horn. Is it?
Oh, I don't know, Jason. I thought he was the biggest one.
Maybe. Y'all can see. Look, see here. How fancy they fancied up.
Had some pictures of the but that's the reason. I mean, besides donating and helping, we wanted to see the birds, and I don't know that everybody there was even interested in the birds.
Well, I was going to give you like the background, like, of course, the vulture here. The vulture was 35 years old.
Yes.
35 years old.
How do you say her name?
Noir.
Noir, but it's pronounced, I never get it right.
But they had him because 35 years ago, some college boys thought it would be cool to raise a vulture. So they took it from the mama and they raised it. I don't know how long. They didn't get into the details, but they ended up with it. And so since it's been around humans its entire life, it doesn't know it's a vulture. So if they were to let it out in the wild, it wouldn't survive. So that's why they had it. And the Mississippi kite broke its wing and it was deformed, so he can't fly. So that's why they had the Mississippi kite. And all the birds they have are like that. They cannot be released back into the wild because they wouldn't make it. There's something wrong with them.
So they use these for
yeah.
educational purposes, and they are glove trained, which means, they can walk around. This is a hawk with a glove on their hand, and the birds will indeed know to stay perched. Now, there were sometimes when the birds got a little nervous and they tried to fly, but that's just in their nature. They're never going to be, if they were completely just sat there, then, they wouldn't be birds at all. But, it was just fantastic. I think I've got pictures of most of them. I'm not supposed to have a favorite, but this was my favorite. The little screech owl. And this is what we had living in our barn when we first arrived here at our farm, because it had been unoccupied, and they are notorious for consuming mice and rats and, any kind of little insect that won't eat them. I think you showed that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I think
that may have been the other one.
I think that's the Eurasian.
I think that's the horn right there. That's the different side of the owl.
All right, so this is a terrible picture, but that's the great horned, and then this is the Eurasian owl. You can see how big he is. So, the silent auction started like 4 or 5 days before the event started, and so you had a way to sign up, and I love an auction. I love it. I love it. And this silent auction, I'd went through all of them like 5,000 times trying to figure out what I liked. My family wasn't interested in looking, and I just marked what I wanted. And when we got there, they became interested. It's like, oh, I see it now. One of them was lunch with that vulture.
Which I saw a lot of people say that is French for black. So it is the black vulture.
N-O-I-R? Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay. Now I got to work on my pronunciation.
Noir.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Stephanie. Noir. I'm told wrong every time. Noir. So that was the item that Mary Carl wanted to win. There was like, oh goodness, it was several things that you could, but that was it. That was what she was interested in. She's fascinated with vultures. And so we kept getting outbid. I had it on my phone, and it was like everybody wanted to eat with Noir. Jason said nobody's going to want to eat with a vulture.
Yeah.
Eat lunch with a vulture. And lo and behold, they did. They did. And we will be eating lunch with Noir.
Yeah, we did win.
We won.
Noir.
So we were thrilled that we were able to do that. And it was obvious to me by looking back at what the things sold for that Noir was the one that everybody wanted to eat with.
Noir. I like saying that. I sound fancy. I sound like I need a tux when I say that, don't I?
Noir can be brought to our farm.
Really?
The lunch was they could bring her to your location, or you could go to theirs. I am going to their location.
Our dogs, you couldn't enjoy yourself.
Well, we're going to have a fun day with Noir, and they're going to cater the lunch for our family. And Mary Carl's going to take Emily, her friend Emily.
Yep.
And we need to, contact them and get that arranged. But there's no hurry. We can do it on anytime we want to.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So we had a good time.
Yeah.
We ended up having a good time.
We did. It was a fun night, and I'm glad we went because, with my hand having happened, I had actually told Jordan, who was heading up the event, I said, I don't think we're going to be able to make it, but I appreciate you, offering us tickets. He said, oh, well, that's when he told me our 10 gloved birds will be there. And he was, it was just becoming more and more desirable to go. And finally I said, we're going to go. We're going to go. I'm not going to let this little hand get me out.
Yeah, we're going to go. It was fun.
It was really fun.
The food was good.
The food was great.
What else was it though?
Yeah,
the chicken was so good. It's crazy you think fried because it was fancy food, but the fried chicken was unbelievable.
The fried chicken. There was green beans. There was peach cobbler.
That's right.
Somebody's feeding their babies out there.
I hear
Y'all
the
hear
babies.
it? Can you hear them?
Yeah, I hear.
But yes, it was very, very nice, very different, very different for us.
Yeah, it was. We stepped outside the box big time.
And I think that for a teenager to do things that are out of their normal element, I think is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exposing them to things that you may not ordinarily do.
Right.
Is it makes them more well-rounded, and they get to see more about how the world works.
That's right.
Not because it was fancy. I don't mean that at all. I just mean different.
Yeah,
different.
Yep. Just stepped outside the box a little bit.
Stepped outside the box. Boy, oh boy, did we. We
I had to break out the ironing board.
Well, I hope they're ready, because if we get invited to donate again next year and we go, I'm wearing the same dress.
Are you?
Because I probably won't have another one. It was so ironic that Jason and I what were we doing downtown that day, and
we
why?
Were going to lunch.
No, Jason, it was me and you. We had breakfast.
That's what it was.
It was that day we went for breakfast.
And the little shop next door.
We went to go try to get your driver's license.
That's right.
And we went to breakfast, and they had these racks out on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And that dress was one of the last items, so that's why it was on sale. She's okay.
She's scratching the rug.
She's okay. She's trying to make a bed. And then the shirt was the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it was just weird that we went down. We'd never go anywhere by ourselves without me and Carl. And then here we were shopping on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Shopping on the street. Yep. Without her. And I bought her something. She kept it.
She liked it.
She kept it.
She liked it.
Yes.
Just great.
Yes.
Couldn't believe it.
Oh, she loves to dress up. She loves to dress up.
She does.
She has no problem finding something formal or casual, or I mean, she's just got it. She's just a designer.
She's got her own style, that's for sure.
She's got her own style. Yep. But she's not judgmental of ours by all means.
Mm-mm.
It's not, you look silly. It's not her style or no style. She respects everybody. She just knows her.
Yep. Well, I guess if y'all saw yesterday's video, y'all know that Big Joe is rolling. And I mean rolling. That was the you had your surgery, and so you were asleep, and I said I'm gonna go work on Big Joe, and so I went over there. First thing was I put the carburetor on the Volkswagen, hoping that was going to fix the Volkswagen, and it did fix the Volkswagen. The running part, it still has to be tuned up a little bit.
Jason told me he was going to need me to help him with the Volkswagen because somebody had to crank it while he did something else.
Because the throttle cable's not hooked up.
And so I was thinking all this time that I was deterring the Termite from cranking because I just had not felt up to going to crank it.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, sent me a text of the Volkswagen running. He said, it's been running for 15 minutes. I said, I just need to know, did Holly crank it? Because nobody was here.
Well, I was like, how am I going to get this thing? So I just sprayed some carburetor cleaner in the carburetor and I cranked it. And when it started running, it started, trying to sputter a little bit. So I couldn't give it any gas. So I ran to the back and I started, messing with the throttle on the carburetor itself and got it going. So it's running. It ain't ready yet, but it's running.
I tried to get him to go knock on my mama's door and say, Miss Mary Lou, today's your big debut. If you will please come and crank this Volkswagen, I will be very thankful to you. He didn't do it.
I need you to pat the gas. Well, you can't pat the gas. I just need you to crank it.
Just need you to turn it over.
Just turn it over. That's it. That's all I want. Just turn it over.
So I was thrilled to know that the Termite is indeed running. It needs some adjustment, right?
The carburetor, I fooled with it, but it needs some adjustment. I got to put the throttle cable back on. I got to put the mustache bar, which is the front engine.
None of this
cradle.
Makes sense to me.
Got to put that back on. I got to put the crankshaft pulley on. All the tins and shrouds all got to go back in there, and there was something else I got to do, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, yesterday we were in Walmart, and Mary Carl needed a new pair of seeing eyeglasses. So Jason and Mary Carl were looking at the glasses, and lo and behold, I go to the back of the store to get some more paint for the Eggmobile out there that's Caden's been painting on, and the family that, thank you, Susie. Say hello to Peach and give her
a snack from me.
Oh, thank you. And I see Donnie's family.
Yep.
Donnie Volkswagen's family was there. And they first thing they wanted to know is how the Volkswagen's doing. I said, Jason got it cranked. And they tell me that Donnie Volkswagen has changed the engine out in their bus this past week.
I didn't know that.
He put a Beetle, a bug, Volkswagen Bug engine in their Volkswagen to get it going.
I got you.
Said he had been working hard. So what about the tractor?
Well, so I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I over the past year, I've been thinking that the tractor is just not going to go. It's just not going to go, and that maybe I should just retire that tractor, make it a yard ornament, make something, because it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And that day, I knew I had to put the starter on there. So I put the starter on there. When I took the old one out, it come apart. It fell all apart. So I'm glad I put the new starter on there. So I put the new starter on there and cranked it up. And it ran, and then it kind of cut off. And I was like, that's no big deal. I went to try to crank it again. Wouldn't do anything. Just would not turn over. Just like it didn't have fire. And I thought, something else has gone wrong with this thing. Here we go again. Check the fire. We had fire. So I knew it had to be fuel. Cracked the gas line. No gas coming out. I just put 3 gallons of gas in this thing. So I was like, here we go again. I cannot believe, I get one thing fixed and then it's something else. And then, and not only that, I would get something fixed. Say, for instance, I'd get the carburetor fixed. Then it was the starter or the ignition system. Then I get that fixed, and then the carburetor's back bad again. You're always starting back over. And it was just that constant cycle all the time. And it happened again that day. Fuel bowl, which has been replaced already. I put another one of those back on there that day. Then the float in the carburetor was sticking, so I had to take the carburetor back off. Luckily, I got so many parts for it now. I had another float, put it on there. Then I forgot the gasket and had to take it back off and put the gasket back on there. But lo and behold, it runs. And I can't believe it.
It might not run today, but it ran that day.
It runs. Now, there is some little stuff here and there. I know I got a little oil leak on it, but y'all, I don't care. As long as it runs, I don't care about the little oil leak. The steering rod on the right-hand side, I think it's the right-hand side, yeah, is wore out, and I know I have to replace that, but it just runs. I mean, that's all I care about. It runs, and it's doing exactly what I want to do. And I didn't mention this in the video, but the good thing about having that tractor is that I don't have to switch implements.
That's a pain to have to stop what you're doing, go change the I mean, it sounds minor, and it is minor, but when you're trying to get something done to go, swap out implements, it's just
especially the tiller.
Yeah.
Out of all the implements, the tiller is the worst because that thing is heavy. The Pat Easy exchange system I got on there doesn't work as well with the tiller as it does everything else. So taking the tiller on and off is always a pain. And so to have that where I can till and I can run the spring tooth harrow and I don't have to swap implements, is awesome. It's awesome. It's going to save so much time.
He got the garden done with just him and Caden and no Brooke.
No Brooke, and didn't have to go the rakes on the tractor now, so it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But I would have to put the cultivator on the tractor, which we only use
For the
for
garden.
making rows.
Yeah, for making rows.
So we'd have to put it on, take it on there, then you're gonna take it back off and put whatever you want back on the tractor. So yeah, it was awesome. It's awesome.
I told
runs
Jason
really
that
good.
day, he was talking about he was going to get his garden done, and I knew that the plot was tarped, and I said, Jason, I said, I cannot help you. Roll that tarp up, and that tarp's heavy, y'all. That silage tarp.
It is
I
heavy.
said, Caden was coming at 3 o'clock after he got out of school. I said, you wait on Caden. Please do not try to do that. He was going to try to do it himself, and I just emphasized that he might as well wait on Caden, and he did, and I'm thankful you did.
I did. It was hard because the tractor was ready that late that afternoon. So the next morning is when I filmed and showed everybody the tractor was running. But I had to wait till later that afternoon, after 3 o'clock when Caden got out of school, to actually use the tractor in the garden. So that was
okay. So
that was.
Jeannie wants to know why the Volkswagen is called Termite. And the reason is because when we got the Volkswagen, we thought that it would be up and running quickly. And so I started working on the inside. We got the seat tree covered, this, that, and the other. And I decided that carpet in that we didn't want to replace it with carpet because we're taking Moody for a ride. And Moody's a nasty boy. So with Moody being in there, he couldn't be on carpet. We replaced it with wood floor. And when we went to pull that carpet out, there were termites.
But they were dead.
They were dead, but they had been, in the bottom of the bus where there was some old wood. Cars back then, they didn't think about putting wood in there and potentially getting wet and termites eating it. So we got all that stuff out. But termite was just fitting because there were termites in there. That's right. So there we go.
Yep. Somebody said they had the same issue when they were working, when they had a 68 Mustang. When you're dealing with older cars or dealing with anything like that, there's always a chance, something's going to go wrong. And y'all, especially this day in time, when 100% of the parts for that tractor come from China, 100% of them. There's no, unless you find, some original parts from because that tractor's from 1948. They don't make them. They do not make them over here. So, I mean, like the coil, a brand new coil, put it on there, and the distributor. So I've had a new coil that lasted, I don't know, 6 months maybe. And then the distributor right off the bat wasn't any good, hardly. So, I mean, it's just a roll of the dice nowadays with the, trying to repair old things. But, it is what it is.
Well, I wish that I still had the old Toyota Land Cruiser that I used to have.
Yeah, me too.
But the problem was something always went wrong, and that's what happens with old things. But now I feel like you would have time to fix it, to work on it. I say that it might be parked in the barn, but I just wish I had it back. I can't get it back. I sold it on eBay. Somebody
from Michigan bought it.
And they sent a rollback. Now, we made money off of it, so that didn't hurt my heart too bad at the time, because I remember sitting at the Goodwill.
It wouldn't crank.
It wouldn't crank. And the worst part of it was it wouldn't crank. Jason's at work. I have to call him to come get me because the cars broke down again. And it just got to be such a burden.
Yep.
It just got to be such a burden. And I know whoever got it probably got it fixed. And it was a one owner. We bought it from somebody trading it in at the dealership for little of nothing.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
The only thing was it got 7 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
And this was back when gas was under $2.
And here's the reason we sold it. It's because
an air conditioning.
I was pregnant with Mary Carl, and we needed something to get back and forth to Birmingham, which was where my OB doctor was. And so we sold that car on eBay, and we bought a little Honda Civic that got like 50 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, that's right.
And we were able to get to Birmingham on $1.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was very financially reasonable thing to do at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can't go backwards.
Yeah, that thing. Oh my gosh. I remember that it was an old Land Cruiser. and they were not meant for riding around town or those
It beat you
things.
to death.
Well, they were meant for off-roading. I mean, that's what they were built for. And it sounded like you were doing, 80 miles an hour.
It was wound up.
But it was geared so low because it was meant for climbing. You'd be doing 15, and that's why the gas mileage was horrible on that thing.
It
Terrible.
was. But I could get a load of feed in there. Oh my goodness, it was perfect. It was just, and it was just, I don't want to say immaculate, but it was as close to immaculate as I needed.
Yep, I think so.
It was perfect. So it's gone. I don't know where it is now, but it's probably rusted if it's up around, somewhere where it snows. And
yeah, that's a bad thing. Bad up there.
So I see, do we have a name for the baby calf? We don't, but I wrote that down because I wanted to talk about it.
You can. Somebody want to know if the peaches are ready here.
Yes, the early maize.
Early maize are ready.
Early maize are ready. Those are very flavorful. They're very juicy.
They're smaller too.
Then they're smaller. So peaches are starting to get ripe. Not the pig. She's been ripe for a long time, but yeah, peaches are starting to get ready here.
Yep.
Just little.
And I saw I've seen this pop up several times. There was an earthquake today, but I haven't seen where that was.
North Carolina is what I saw.
Did you? I hope everything's okay.
I think it affected Tennessee, Knoxville. Knoxville had a 4.1.
I don't know anything about those.
At 9:04
Is that bad, 4.1? I don't know. I don't understand. We don't have well, we do have earthquakes here, but it's rare. And
I remember we were living in the camper and one came through Alabama and I felt it, but nobody else did.
Yep.
It shook the house in Knoxville, Tennessee. But I think that the biggest part of it was in North Carolina. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, it can be felt for a long way away.
That's right.
All right. So what are your ideas for the calf name?
So Tot, and the Tot is one, and Chip comes up a lot. I think Chip's extremely popular too. And then Little Man, I see. That's what I call him. So many people say that's what we need to name him because it's going to stick.
Little Man.
Little Man. Everybody likes Little Man too.
Well, I like Bert Reynolds. I like Bert Reynolds and call him Bert Reynolds.
Yeah, Bert Reynolds.
Bert Reynolds. If he is Tot, then I'm going to have to call him Toddy.
Toddy.
Because to me, he's just a little Toddy.
Spuds come up a lot too. I always think of Spuds McKenzie,
the dog.
The dog. The old Bud Light commercials.
Nobody likes my Bert Reynolds. Nobody has said anything about Bert Reynolds.
I do want to say this. I am
Bruno
done.
is as Chestnut Hill's calf's name.
Yeah. I'm done naming animals the same letter. I'm done.
Gosh, I'm glad you are.
Because I get Matilda.
Thank you, Stacy. She likes Bert Reynolds.
I get Matilda and Mildred confused all the time.
He says it every single day. Did you let Mildred out? I'm like, Mildred's not locked up anywhere.
I do it all the time.
But I know what he's talking about. But it's okay. They're saying Bert Reynolds. Bert Reynolds.
Bert Reynolds.
Thank you, Sean. Bert Reynolds. Bert Reynolds. All right.
How do you say that? Bogard? Is that how you say that? Bogard.
Well, they're saying name him Bo, probably. I like Hoss too.
I liked Hoss too.
He's not a Hoss, but y'all, yesterday, I said I was going to name him the fireman because he was running like he was going to a fire. He could have been George Strait going to the fire. That little fella it was funny. I took a video of him. I'll have to try to post that. It wasn't very good because I was a long way away, but I don't know what he was thinking, but it was like he had something making him go.
He was wide open.
He ran from one end of that pasture's big now. He ran, I'm talking about full blast, never missed a beat. And Tater's like, oh, Where are you? And then she starts off in a trot after him because she doesn't know what he's doing. And he runs between Moody and Mildred, and he comes back around and does another little loop. He comes all the way back up to where I am. And Tater's in the area where she's eating. No gates are shut or anything, but Dee Dee was out there. And y'all, he saw Dee Dee, and he's fascinated with the cats. I think he just thought Dee Dee was another cat.
Probably so.
And he started bucking. And I'm talking about that little thing was going to town. He was bucking and putting on a show. And Dee Dee said, I don't know what this is, but I'm getting out of here. Now, Dee Dee goes in with the cows a lot, so they're used to her. But he thought Dee Dee was going to play with him. He just knew that Dee Dee was going to play with him.
So, EHC
Bandit.
Bunny
We got a dog named Bandit.
says she met Bert Reynolds
Huh.
and it went away, but she ended up partying with Bert Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson and said he was very nice.
Well, how about
and
that?
Somebody wanted to know, several people wanted to know why Bert Reynolds, and that's because of Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, Jason's favorite movie as a child was
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit.
So we already got a bandit. We don't have a Smokey, but he's not the cop, so it can't be Smokey. So.
I like Chip too, Tater and Chip. I don't know. I just, I told y'all we needed to wait and see his personality. Well, his personality's coming out.
Yeah, he's a fool.
He's full force.
Mm-hmm.
He's and I tell you, I haven't seen this side of Tater either.
Yeah.
Since she was pregnant the entire time she's been here. She was 2 months pregnant when she got here. I did the math. I figured it out. So she was only 2 months pregnant when she got here. We've had her 7 months. 7 months. She's been here since October. And, she never, you don't feel too good when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Some people feel wonderful, but
yeah.
I have a feeling that Tater didn't feel too good. But y'all, she is funny.
Mm-hmm.
She's I gave her some treats yesterday evening. I'm trying to make her, know that I'm not going to hurt her and I'm not going to hurt her baby. And boy, he thought he was going to have him a treat.
Did he come up to you?
Yeah, he was right there with his mama. And I put one I knew he couldn't eat it, but or wouldn't eat it. I put one in the trough, and he can't hardly lift his neck over there, but he was trying. What is mama doing?
Oh man, that's funny.
He's been a joy. Just the short time he's been here, he has been a joy. Baker, that's Nick and Zoe's last name.
Yeah, a lot of people have said Baker,
as in baking tater.
Mm-hmm. So
Bruiser.
We could do a poll.
We could
Get Tot, Little Man.
Where is Bert Reynolds on that list? I do not see Bert Reynolds.
I'm writing them down. Tot, Little Man, Chip, Baker, Bert Reynolds, and Russet comes up a lot too.
Will he be a bull when he grows up? No, we're going to have Dr. D. Jason did a video about that. Dr. D wants to cut him at 60 days of age.
Mm-hmm.
And we do like to cut rather than band. It's just, in our opinion, since we have a vet that can do it and do it humanely, it's just better in our case.
Spud, that was the other one. Spud. Yeah, and that's what both vets said to do too.
Yeah, they just, I know in certain situations banding is, okay to do, but we got a vet. We can he can numb him up. He can make this pain free and just little small fry. Small fry. Call him Firebird. That's a good one. Call him the Firebird.
All right. There we go.
And we're going to keep on thinking of names. I just feel like a name's with them forever.
Mm-hmm.
The name is going to be here forever. You know the top of your head's cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm tall.
Yeah, he's not tall. Roy. Name him Roy. I like that, Bonnie. Roy, hash brown, Frenchie. I got an email that said something about Frenchie, and it said the reason behind it. Y'all, I apologize if I haven't responded to an email.
We've been bombarded.
I'm just that. I'm just Frito. I like Frito. Friends. I like Friends. There's a music group that I like.
Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, but I read something about that, and that's something to do with World War II, and we don't get political.
No, we don't.
We don't get political. So I do not want to open a can of worms by naming him something that they think I'm political about, because we're not. Name him Red. Call him Fire. If we didn't have a Red, I probably would consider Red.
Mm-hmm.
Red's one of our little baby goats.
Mm-hmm.
Bo for Bo Duke. Y'all, funny thing. The physical therapist asked me, do you have any dogs that could potentially bump your hand? I said, do I have any dogs? I said, not really. I said, I really don't have any dogs that'll bump my hand, but I do have some goats and some cows and some emus and some, even chickens and horses, things like that could bump my hand, but no dogs are going to bump my hand. I don't have to worry about that. So I'm wearing a compression sleeve over my hand, and that is just to prevent bacteria from going in the little puncture wounds where they put the pins in. And I wear a brace too. And she says that brace is just to protect it. She said people are more mindful that you have an injury. And
if you'd had that brace on last night, I wouldn't have bumped it.
We were eating popcorn. No, stop.
We were sharing.
No, we weren't.
We were sharing a popcorn bowl.
We weren't sharing a popcorn bowl. I fixed myself some popcorn. He had already eaten something else. I'm eating the popcorn. He's spilling one of 3 pieces and I'm, Jason, you look at the floor. He said, don't worry about the floor. Just keep on doing what you're doing. We were looking at something on the computer. And I'm looking down every 3 seconds as he spills the popcorn. All of a sudden, he reaches in my popcorn bowl and he hits my hand.
Yeah, we kind of went the
we
same
collided.
time. Yeah.
And he said, I'm not eating any more popcorn.
I'm done. I went and got the broom.
He did. He went and got the broom, cleaned up his mess, and I ate the rest of the popcorn.
Oh, me.
Oh, goodness. What was I going to say?
Got sidetracked.
I did.
I can't remember what it was.
Oh, goodness. It was important, too. Okay, so I know what it was. I'm supposed to say that sugar-free strawberry taffy is back in stock.
It's back in stock.
It is a very limited supply. So if that is something that you were wanting, it's in limited supply. And also, Jacqueline made up those gift baskets that were peach lotion, peach this, peach that, peach soap. She had some lotions left over, and there are very limited individual lotions for sale.
Okay.
So I'm getting that out there because I had it written down. I hadn't even looked at what I got written down. We could just keep on going. No, I think that covered everything. Oh, last thing. Lubricin with the MSM is back in stock. It went back in stock one day. I was going to make a post about it. It showed out of stock. I reached out to Lubricin. They said they were trying to get the subscription orders out first. I didn't know you could do a subscription. And so they took it back out of stock, but it is available. Lubricin with MSM and the grape has been out of stock. It's back in stock, but the grape does not have MSM. Use code COGHEAL, all one word. If you want to just go to the website, lubricin.com, use that promo code COGHEAL and get 25% off your order. Or you can use the link. I think Alonda just put it up there. It's on our website too.
It's on our website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all keep those names coming because I told y'all he can run, and we're going to end it with him running.
Plus, we want to say Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, we want to say Happy Mother's Day.
That will be tomorrow, and just Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful moms out there.
All right, y'all see his personality. And this was just a little bit of it. I mean, he ran and he ran and he ran. This was at 7:10 last night. Then I caught this one. He's running. He's at the end of the pasture.
All the way down there by itself.
That's the end. There's a neighbor house way down there. It's a half a mile away.
Yeah, the neighbor's house looks a lot closer than what it is.
He runs again. Let's see. Oh, here's Tater. This is Tater when she realizes he's all the way down there. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? She starts trotting herself. Little man, here I go, little man. Little man, what are you doing down there at the end of that pasture? She doesn't know what to do. And y'all, yesterday, Tater licks him all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And I Googled, why is my cow licking her calf all the time? It said that's stimulation. It's a mama instinct. It stimulates them to nurse. He don't need to be stimulated to nurse. He knows how to nurse. But here's the thing. Mildred licks him too. Mildred and Tater lick him. Last night, I tried to take a picture of them or a video of them. They were both licking him. And you can see, let's see. You can see them, Mildred and Tater standing beside each other. You can't see the calf, but they're both licking him. And look at the size difference.
Look
Tater
how much bigger Moody is than Tater.
Well, look at Mildred. Mildred's so much bigger than Tater.
Yeah.
You really can't see how much difference it is till you see them standing side by side. And this one is prime example. Mildred, here I am with the M's, and Tater. The difference. Mildred thinks she's his mama. Here they come. My phone is full of videos. It's just, I'm just a giddy cow mama. Just a giddy cow mama. I just hate this happened at the same time he was born.
Yeah, I know.
Because if not, we'd probably be out there. I don't know what we'd be doing. Little man Bert.
Oh, me. Oh, well. It is.
Well, we're going to keep talking.
You want to keep talking?
No, not really.
Well, I guess that's it. You through your coffee?
Yes, I'm through with my coffee. Are you?
Toddy. A name.
Toddy. Toddy. I don't know. I feel like we'll know it when we get it. And not to say it's not one of these. I just need his personality first. And I know he's a spunky one.
He is.
I think, I asked Zoe, I said, is Bruno, like, does he come up to you and such? And she said she can get about an arm's length from him, but they don't live at the farm. So, they're not saying anything negative about not living at the farm, but I'm just saying they don't see his mannerisms as much as we do because we're out. They work a full-time job. We're out there. That is our job, taking care. And Sparky, I like that. Sparky. I don't know if he's as fired up as
I don't know.
Little Toddy is. Blaze.
I don't know.
Name him after Caden. Caden's at the beach this weekend.
He's
got a rainy weekend to be at the beach too. Buster Brown.
Rodeo.
Scooter.
There's all kind.
There he is. All right. So are y'all finished with your coffee? Because if not, you might want to go get you, or if you are, go get you another cup. It's a 2-cup kind of coffee day.
It is.
Especially.
May go make another brown.
I'm going to have to stay out of the bed with it raining like this.
I know. I have that. What do they call it?
They call it sleepiness.
No, the weather, when it affects your mood.
Seasonal depression?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If it's raining and stuff outside, I do get really sleepy.
You do. But that's not depression. That's just sleepiness. You're not depressed.
No, is it? I don't think it was.
Seasonal depression is when you change with the seasons. Your mood changes. Anyway. All right. So we're empty. Hope y'all have a blessed day, no matter what you're doing, and a wonderful Mother's Day tomorrow to all of you. You've all had a mother at some point, maybe been a mother at some point, even if they're not with you now, just enjoy whatever you're doing.
Y'all be good.
Ferdinator.